Okay, guys, we are back with another video. Today, we're looking at how to add liquidity on TaoFi.com into the Tau USDC liquidity pool, where you can generate consistent yield with concentrated liquidity. So this is a four-step process. I'm going to talk about it in this video, break it down step by step. There's a couple of extra steps compared to normal, so let's dive into it. Okay, so like I said, we have a step-by-step process for how you want to get set up for this liquidity pool. And the first thing you need to know is that this pool is working on the subtensor EVM with TaoFi.com. So when you come into the pool area here, you're going to have the ability to connect an EVM or Solana wallet and supply liquidity into the Tau USDC trading pair to start earning yield. Now, like I said, what I'm doing in this video is I'm showing you the EVM version. I'm connected to an EVM wallet, meaning that you're going to want to be using something like a MetaMask or a Rabi wallet in order to do this. And step number one in this process is to add the subtensor EVM to your wallet as a new network. Now, the subtensor EVM is essentially a Tau compatible sidechain that operates with EVM compatible wallets like MetaMask and Rabi. And step number one is that you need to add the subtensor EVM into your wallet. So if I open up my Rabi account here, you can see I've got the subtensor EVM selected as my network. If you don't have that there, which you probably will not, you need to come over to add custom network. You need to call it the subtensor EVM. You need to find the RPC URL, the chain ID, and the currency symbol. And you can go ahead and add the subtensor EVM directly in here into your MetaMask or your Rabi wallet. What that's going to do is it's going to give you the ability to send and receive funds into your MetaMask Rabi wallet on the Bittensor or subtensor EVM so that you can connect that wallet to TaoFi and you can go ahead and deploy Tau and USDC into this liquidity pool. Okay, so that is step number one in the process. You need to add the subtensor EVM into your wallet. The second step you need to do, and this can actually be done directly on TaoFi, once you connect your wallet, which you can see I've done here, if I disconnect it, all I have to do is click on EVM wallet, select my MetaMask, confirm the connection, and it's going to connect me directly into TaoFi here. You can actually bridge funds directly from the Solana network or Ethereum mainnet and even Base over to the the subtensor EVM in your MetaMask wallet. So you can see here, if I have USDC on the Base network, for example, I can bridge that over to the subtensor EVM as USDC on Tau by bringing that across from the Base network. Similarly, if you have capital in a Solana wallet, you can bridge it directly over to USDC on your subtensor EVM, and it's going to appear over here on your subtensor EVM. You can see I've got $32 of USDC. I've got about $4 of Tau. Now, the critical step number three here is that you are going to need to fund your wallet with some Tau for gas purposes. Remember, on the subtensor EVM, when you're executing transactions for getting in and out of a pool, or even trying to swap assets, let's say from USDC into a subnet token, you need to have some Tau in your subtensor EVM wallet in order to facilitate those transactions for gas purposes. Now, it's not actually possible to swap, obviously, into Tau when you don't have any Tau in the wallet already, because in order to swap some of your USDC into Tau, you need to have Tau in the subtensor wallet for gas purposes. And so what you actually need to do is you need to send some native Tau directly over to your subtensor EVM wallet. And the way that you do that is you use this Snow address converter to convert your EVM wallet address into an SS58 compatible address, which is the protocol that Bittensor uses. And that's going to allow you to open up your Bittensor native wallet and then transfer or send Tau directly from this wallet over into your subtensor EVM wallet. So let's do that very quick step by step. You need to copy your wallet address from your MetaMask for the Bittensor or subtensor EVM. The input address, and I will leave a link for this in the video description as well. The input address format is Ethereum because we're taking it from the MetaMask EVM wallet. We're pasting in the address, and when we click on Go, what this does is it converts our Ethereum address into an SS58 compatible address here, which we can then use as the receiving wallet to send the funds to. And so what I would need to do here is copy and paste this wallet address. So if I'm doing Command C on my keyboard here, I can come into my Bittensor wallet. I can click on transfer. And if I wanted to paste the address here, I'm now pasting this address, which is ultimately going to route the native Tau that I send from my Tau wallet directly over to my MetaMask Subtensor EVM wallet as well. So all I'm going to do is click on continue, and then I can specify or denote the amount of Tau that I want to send, and it's going to allow me to then execute that transaction or swap. You can see there's minimum amounts that we might need to send. I would click on continue, I would enter the password, click on finish, and then that funds the 0.01, the zero point 0.1, or the 1 Tau, however much you send, will route over and land directly into your Subtensor EVM wallet here in the form of Tau. Again, this does happen quite quickly. I was pleasantly surprised at how quick it actually routed over and bridged across to my Bittensor Subtensor EVM wallet. And then you're going to be able to actually go ahead and click on the pool page, because now you're going to have Tau and USDC in your wallet. You can also swap between those assets on the swap page here, and you're going to be able to define a range for your pool, plus or minus 5%, plus or minus 10%, plus or minus 25%. You can also specify even more directly if you want to make it a little bit more granular, so it's not too rigid on plus or minus 10%. You might want to be going to 278 to 335, for example, and that's going to help you define your range. You specify the amount of Tau and the amount of USDC that you want to enter into the pool. You approve the USDC, you approve the Tau, and then you go ahead and deploy that capital into the actual pool itself. Now, once you do that, you're going to see your position open on the bottom of the screen here. Your positions are going to outline all the parameters. I've got a position open right now. Technically, it's just after going out of range because the price of Tau has gone just below the bottom end of my range. But we can see my specified concentrated liquidity range is 312 to 369. That's about an 18 to 20% wide range. It's going to tell me the breakdown of Tau and USDC in my pool. Because I've gone out of range to the downside, I'm completely converted into Tau, and it's going to show me the fees earned over time. And obviously that number will appreciate over time the longer you spend in the pool. So that is a basic and simple tutorial to give you a pretty rough idea of how you can be generating fees by deploying liquidity into Tau USDC over here on TaoFi. Yes, there's one or two extra steps here with setting up the Subtensor EVM on your MetaMask or Rabi wallet, making sure that you send Tau over to that by creating an SS58 compatible wallet address. Bridging capital and funds into the Subtensor EVM allows you to then deploy it into this pool, and you'll be able to start generating and earning fees. And like you can see, there's incentives here because the subnet is using some of its emissions to increase the yield capacity you can be earning from deploying liquidity into this trading pair. Hopefully that's useful, guys. Again, let me know if there's any questions in the comment. If you follow the steps as we outlined here, you should be able to get capital into that pool, start generating fees, and earning some pretty nice yield.